Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 7 Negan Kill Explained with Abraham and Michonne. So one of the first videos I did on this topic identified Abraham as Negan's victim. Very popular video, 1.8 million views, over 10,000 comments, great interaction back and forth. I actually learned a lot from your comments. So we've shifted the theory a little bit. I'm going to enhance the Abraham theory, but there's going to be one small change to this. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about Carl, some hints, some quotes from the writers and producers, and the very first scene is something that's going to be a theme throughout the entire episode. It focuses in on Carl, the hat, and he locks Enid in the closet. But what's important when he locks Enid in the closet as he walks away, look at the silhouette of the hat. That's going to be a common theme with shadows throughout the entire episode. So a little bit later on, you can see Carl's hat gets flipped up, and that angle is a focus as well. So something that's not important is actually focused on quite a bit. Look at the shadow of Negan as he's walking to the left. The light is shining from the right to the left. All the shadows are over to the left. But when there's a scene a little bit later on where Negan is standing in front of Rick, there is no shadow whatsoever of Carl's hat on Negan's body. So it's not even in play. You can see the leather folded there, but no shadows to speak of. However, the Negan kill scene, take a look at this. There you can see the silhouette of the hat once again. Almost looks like Carl pointing a gun. Now I know the scene was filmed without any actors present, but I would theorize they actually put the hat on the camera to show that specific shadow to mess with the viewers, because there's a lot of times they did this throughout the entire episode. This scene is actually doubly important because a lot of people were frustrated by the cheesy blood flowing down, and they said it was a spinoff from GoldenEye or James Bond flick, and the POV didn't matter, but Scott Gimple brought that up and said, this was not you, the viewer, when the blood came down. This was an actual character. So that debunks a little bit of theory that POV was not important. There was just some random camera shot. A little bit later in that episode, you can see Scott Gimple said, we knew people would be Zaprudering it because it was impressionistic. Robert Kirkman said, as they should, there's some hints in there. So some people said there are no hints in there. Robert Kirkman is on record as saying, yeah, check it out. There are some hints that will help you figure out who it is. Let's move forward and talk about the real topic of this video, which is Abraham. And you can see the look on his face. He is just edgy. He's ready to jump in there and save the day. And this was a theme throughout the entire episode. Abraham was just ready to change, ready to make a difference. And he got more camera time than anyone. Here's a scene where Negan walked up with Lucille and says, all this so we can pick out which one of you gets the honor. And he actually stood up. Now, when they went over to Maggie, this was the tease scene, and I thought this was very interesting because Negan actually swings the bat with one hand. It's a little bit playful, but pay attention to Abraham. Abraham is ready to jump in until he realizes that Glenn is already in play. So when that happens, Abraham says, don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. The first one is free, and he emphasized first. So that may mean that the second one is not free, and if Abraham does get involved later on, he will be the one that's going to be struck down at the hands of Negan. So as he goes through and picks the victim through the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, we know the choice. Negan says, if anybody moves, if anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we will start. And I think the importance of this is he doesn't want to be interrupted during a speech or during the first bat swing. After the first bat swing, I think Carl's safe, and I do think there'll be some chaos and some interruptions. But after the whole thing unfolds, I don't think he's going to take Carl's eye out and feed it to Rick, but do expect an interruption. I think Abraham will interrupt. And as you guys know, I'm on record as saying the POV and the first bat swing, I think, belongs to Michonne, possibly even a second bat swing as you go back and watch the video. And you're probably saying there's no way she can take a bat swing and still survive it. But let's keep in mind that in the comics, Glenn took the first bat swing and was able to say Maggie's name afterwards, so he was still alive. He actually took a second shot across the jaw before Negan finally finished him with several other killing blows. And the camera goes black after the second one, so it's very, very feasible. I mean, look at Abraham ready to interrupt. This frustrates a lot of people because they want to see the romance between Rick and Michonne, and it's turning into a love story. And actually, when I did the Michonne video, a lot of people said, you guys just don't want to see the two of them together. But let's keep in mind, the Michonne on TV is a lot different than the comic book Michonne. Just ask Tyrese, because here's a little bit of her love affair with Tyrese. Or Morgan. Here's a little bit of her love affair with Morgan. Or we can even take it a little bit further and talk about her love affair with Ezekiel. And even later on, after All Out War, I think, she tried to seduce Heath unsuccessfully, and that didn't work out. So I think it's going to be very hard to get her character actually into the Kingdom role. And I think, taking a couple hits and having her injured could be a good exit strategy, because we know that she disappears for a couple years and becomes a pirate. So what better way to exit and not have to go through all the all-out war and go through the Ezekiel Kingdom love affair mess than just have her take a couple hits with the bat, get injured, move her up to Hilltop, and then let her leave the show for a little bit. So the controversy in the comic was, why did she ever leave in the first place? So the rumor is that she was upset because Rick locked up Negan and did not kill him outright. So we know that Negan does get locked up in the future, and also that Morgan is building a cell. And Denia has a lot of things going on the side, so wouldn't this be just a great exit strategy for her to kind of take a little bit of a reprieve from the show, maybe injured, you don't really know what happens to her, and then Abraham steps in, takes the death blow, does it for Michonne, and you know what? It probably kills two birds with one stone, because here's what can happen. Abraham, who is focused on throughout the entire episode, can die a hero, and it will also alleviate that sticky mess that AMC has created of whether or not Negan can beat down a woman with a baseball bat on television at this day and age. A lot of people are saying no, they can't, and I think that a couple hits with the bat, she survives it. Abraham goes in, takes the death blow. This is my ultimate theory. I'm probably not going to waver from this. I've watched this over 1,000 times, I think, at this point. So this is the best I can do. Leave your comments, but if you're going to say it's Glenn, leave me some reasoning below. My name's Killshot. Peace.